Welcome to another video. In this video we're gonna go in a little bit more into the ct.js game engine. I already made an introductory video to this in which I explain a little bit of the interface. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave you a link in the upper right corner. And if you've seen it already, well, let's dive right in. Alright, so this is the page that you get greeted with when you first launch ct.js. And we're gonna create a new project. You can name it whatever you want. I'm gonna name it Tut 101 and hit on create, and you basically just select the folder where you want your project to be saved in. You're not gonna see this, but I'm selecting a folder real quick, and just select the folder and hit open, and then your project is created. And this is your information. You can fill this in your own. Let's just get right in it, and let's create a texture to get started. And ct.js has a very nice feature that you can use, and this button right here that says generate a placeholder, so you can quickly generate placeholder images to get up and going for quick prototypes. So let's hit on that. And we'll leave the default settings. We're gonna name it character, and we want to label, just so we don't get lost, character also. And that looks very nice. We're gonna leave the color as is and hit create and close. So we have our first texture. Now from our texture we need to create a type, and we could come over here and hit create a type, and then we select the sprite, and then we name it character or character and hit done, and we have our type, right? But also another way we can do this, which is better and quicker, from our texture we just right click and we have create a type from it. So you select this and it fills this for you. So that's very nice. You hit done and you have your type. So we have our texture, and from our texture we made a type. Types are like the game objects, but you know this already because you watched the other video, right? So from this we have to create a room, like our scene. We add a new room, and we're gonna name it, I don't know, room 01. You can name it whatever you want. We go over here in properties, or actually just name it the same, just in case in future videos if we use the room in code, you don't have problems with it. So just name it rm01 just to follow the tutorial. And on properties we're gonna change the width to 1280 and the height to 720 HD, of course. We're gonna hit done, and we have a room created. So from a texture we created our type. Now that we have a type and a room, we can start dropping and creating our levels. So this is our character. We put it in the center just for starters, right? So hit done, and we can already run and preview our game. And this is really quick, and there we have our scene. We have a black room with our character in the middle. Of course this is not doing anything because we haven't done anything to it, to the logic. So that's gonna be our next step. Let's come over here to types and click on character, and this is where we write the code, our logic. It has 4 tabs on the top. You can see on create, on step, draw, and on destroy, and it's self-explanatory. This code is gonna run when the type is created. This code is gonna run on every frame when the object is destroyed, etc. Right? So let's go ahead and look at our best friend over here. We're gonna learn about types. And you have a lot of information here. We're just gonna basically pay attention to the first part right now. And each copy has these parameters for movement. So these parameters are already properties of your object. Every type have these properties right here, which is the X and Y for the location, previous location, where it started. We have our speed, which is the movement you want it to move. And I believe this is movement by pixels, so 1 will be 1 pixel per frame. So if we put speed equals 10, your object will move at 10 pixels per frame speed. And you can set the speed, or you can also set a straight horizontal speed or a straight vertical speed. You can set the direction of movement, gravity, and the direction of gravity. So let's play with this a little bit first to get acquainted with the game engine. Let's set the speed for this object. You start with this speed. You can see there's completion, and we're gonna set it to 5. So we set the speed, right? And if you note over here, it says to actually move a copy, you should call this move, and this is default. It's already done. It's already here when you first create your type. So we have a speed of 5, and we have this move on every frame. So every frame, this type is gonna move at a speed of 5. So let's check it out. We launch our game, and there you go. It's moving at a speed of 5. It's moving right. So we can change another property on this. Let's go over here with our friend. We have direction. Let's change the direction, right? So we're gonna change that direction, and in ct.js world, the directions are like this. So you see that you're in the middle. So if you want to move right, like our type just did, you will put direction equals to 0 because you want it to move right, and it's actually the default. If you want it to move up, you will put the direction to 90, and if you want it to move down, you will put the direction to 270. If you want it to move back, 180. So the default is 0, so it moved right. Let's go ahead and try to make it move up, which will be 90 degrees, right? Or so we'll put the direction equals 90, and we run our game, and it should move up, same speed, but this time it moves up. So that's how the speed variable works. And let's try to mess around with gravity now. Let's try this, gravity. And if you're wondering, if you add this to the beginning of a sentence, it comments out, so at the time of running, this is going to be ignored. So the gravity, let's set it to .25. And what else we need? We have the gravity, and we have the gravity direction, which follows the same pattern that I showed you from the picture. From 0 to 360, default is 270, which is down. And that's actually what we want to see, so we're not gonna change that. So let's check it out. And that's our gravity. And you see, it felt like it sped up. So it feels like a physics, even though it's all code. So just for fun, let's change this gravity direction to 90, and all of a sudden you can have a game that changes the gravity. You see that? So you can have in code change the gravity direction, and you can have like a button that will change the gravity and go up and down or whatever. And it was very easy to implement. So this is like we're just getting our feet wet, and you can already start doing things with this information. But on our next video, we're gonna be converting this game into a platformer type of game. So we're gonna place some platforms over here, and we're gonna make the character fall down with gravity, hit the platforms, and walk on them and jump. So that's gonna be for our next video. Well, this was another video on the ct.js introduction series. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Of course, I'm gonna leave you links in the description to the ct.js game engine so you can download it and get yourself started in game development. It's free, open source, multi-platform, so there's no excuse. Also, I'm gonna be leaving the link on the description also to the Beginner Circle Jam, the AngrySmiles community. It's a beginner-friendly community, and you can get information, you can get your questions answered, and get help from very useful members of the community. So I'm gonna be leaving links in the description to this. Thank you.